Keep here live with Mindset Monday, and today we're going to talk about the ways that successful people approach life differently. And you will get an email sent out too for those of you that are on my email list, because I know that you probably won't remember as you go through this. Anyway, I have found that successful people have a morning routine that usually includes meditation, exercise, and reading something productive, something where they're trying to learn something new or stay on top of something they're already involved in, that sort of thing. That morning routine can make all the difference for people. Number two, they watch their language. They watch what they say to themselves. They watch what they internalize. They watch what they say to other people. Makes another big difference. Another thing I see successful people doing that we really have to adopt is they argue for their greatness as opposed to their limitations. Do you ever hear yourself saying, I can't do that? Oh, that's just not for me. Oh, you're way better at that than me, that sort of thing. Those are just ways of arguing for your limitations. So just watch that, because that is a really, really big one. They surround themselves with like-minded people. Boy, I sure noticed a difference when I started up-leveling the people that I hang around with, because they make you think differently, and they make you play a bigger game, because they do think bigger. And sometimes when you're in a group of really successful people, you realize how your thinking has kept you where you are. So that's a big thing. And like-minded people are not always in the same industry as you either. So keep that in mind too. Sometimes they are in different industries, and you can learn from them things that you can apply to your business. Number five is they have mentors and or coaches, because you know what, if we have to learn through every single mistake we make ourselves, it slows down our growth. If we can learn from other people, it really makes a big difference. And one of the sayings that I've kind of always heard about with coaches is they can see your future self, while the people who know you best can see your existing self. So that's a really good one to think about. They read. What's that saying? All leaders are readers. That is a great way to learn, and a lot of people listen to audiobooks for people who don't like to physically read or find it challenging to read. So I consider audiobooks and reading the same thing. Your mind works differently, but not everybody can read. I know I much prefer reading, but not everybody does. So audiobooks work just fine. They get a good night's sleep. If you're not sleeping properly, and some people only need 5 or 6 hours, but if you're not sleeping properly, everything doesn't work right. So that's a really important one. They eat clean most of the time. I've heard of people going through life where they're depressed and down and all that kind of stuff, only to find out that it's their diet. They eat crappy, and it does go through your system. If you're eating crappy all the time, you don't feel good. I know even times when we eat pretty good, but every once in a while we'll be eating chips or drinking a few too many beers, and you can notice the difference. So watch that you eat clean most of the time. They continuously learn and then apply what they've learned. Like, I know many people will read and read, but not actually take any steps to make themselves better. So that's the next one. Although you study, you actually have to take the action steps that will make you better at what you're trying to learn. The exercise. Exercise is a great stress relief, not to mention pain relief. I've talked to many people who say if they don't exercise regularly, they start getting aches and pains. So watch that. If you're starting to develop aches and pains that you don't think should be there, how much are you exercising? Did you miss your exercise this week? Get in at least 2-3 days a week of something. And some people it's just walking every day, but do it. It makes such a difference for you. Another thing that I noticed that successful people do is they listen to their inner voice. They pay attention to what that inner voice is telling them. Some people call it intuition. Some people call it their, God speaking to them. Some people say it's the universe speaking to them. But your inner voice knows things that you've got to learn to listen to. I found meditation's made a huge difference for me to make it to add that in. So that's another one, meditation. I think that even when I go back and read autobiographies of successful people, just about everyone has a meditation practice. So what does that tell you? Another one is that people work within their strengths. Successful people work within their strengths. I know in school that you're taught to work on your weaknesses. If you're not good at math, you should spend more time studying math. But I can understand where everybody needs to have a basic knowledge of everything. But as life progresses and you find out that you're good at certain things and not so good at other things, you've got to stop working in those things that are really difficult for you. That just causes a whole bunch of stress. So if you can learn to work within your strengths, that's going to make a big difference. And also another one is when you're working within your strengths, is surround yourself with people who have different strengths than you do. I'm an eternal optimist. I always look for the upside. And, I need to have people on my team who point out the downside again and again, because it's just a reminder that you need if you're an eternal optimist. And on the same side of the fence, if you're an eternal pessimist, you need people around you that can tell you how great things can be. So keep that in mind too. Just to reiterate, I'm just going to cover off the 13 I came up with today. Morning routine. They watch their language. They argue for their greatness, not their limitations. Surround themselves with like-minded people, or up-leveling people too. They have mentors or coaches. They read. They get a good night's sleep. They eat clean most of the time. They continuously learn and apply what they've learned. They exercise, listen to their inner voice, work within their strengths, and team up with different people who have different strengths. So hopefully you got value out of that today. And remember, if you need my help mastering your money mindset, because I do believe that that's 90% of your success, reach out to me at 90daysto5k.com and have a really, really good week. Bye for now. Hey, hi John, nice to see you on today. How's things going? Miss you on our Tuesday night calls.